Detroit is one of the most competitive radio markets in the country. Stations will try almost anything to get and keep listeners, from comedy teams to contests. But one station, News Radio 95, has been doing the most difficult format known to radio, and that is all news for about 6 years now, and very successfully. You may not be aware of it, but there is a war going on in Detroit.
Japanese authorities say they have found a third body and part of a fourth, believed to have been aboard that downed Korean jetliner. Police say 35 pieces of debris have turned up today on the shores of Japan's Hokkaido Island. Among the debris, part of an aircraft seat, several shoes, and a business card bearing the name of one of the passengers. Also found a child's toy bearing the legend, the Dukes of Hazzard.
WWJ News Time is 6:10. Activity will pick up in Lansing tomorrow as lawmakers.
A radio war, that is, and one station is using all news as its weapon. WWJ Newsradio 95 started doing its all-news format in 1977.
When we first started, it was sort of one phase at a time, and as I recall, we did our mornings first, and from that we moved to the midday and then the afternoon, and each phase added to it until we finally were 24 hours.
I started my broadcast career in radio, and there is a sense of immediacy about radio that just can't quite be equaled. Now, in the case of a radio station like WWJ, which broadcasts all news live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that sense of urgency is increased tenfold.
You're doing news around the clock 7 days a week, and it's a monster that just eats everything in sight, and you just keep feeding it material, and the result is you have to keep producing material to keep this monster fed. It just takes a lot of material, a lot of work. It just sort of never stops, and you have to keep going at it. It's very demanding in terms of what's needed in manpower, and once those people are in place, it's very demanding on them to keep it flowing.
Don Patrick is the news director of WWJ and one of the two morning anchors. Busy-looking room, Don.
This is the nerve center of the operation right here, I think. Perhaps a lot different than most radio news departments. And this one is really a beehive of activity and stays that way pretty much all the time. It's kind of a constant generation of material and a constant kind of preparation that's going on in this room. Because most everything that's done here generally is done for the air. It comes from here and goes to the studio to be aired.
There are 3 anchor teams, morning, midday, and afternoon drive. The rest of the day is handled by single anchors. The station requires a small army of technicians and reporters. The reporters are out on the street constantly relaying stories back to the station. This team is supplemented with sports and weather personnel, as well as Pat Monks flying the Stroh's jet copter for traffic reports.
They come to expect that once they punch that button, they're going to hear about what's going on, whether they're seeking a particular story or just want to be informed about a lot of things. You can't have everything at any given moment, but certainly if there's something they want to know about, if the weather turns bad or if there has been a disaster or something that they really want to know about, then we had better be telling them about it, or they're going to lose faith in us very quickly.
All the news, all the time.
Detroit's all-news radio station.
WWJ Detroit.
Turning to our style page, we'll find out how your eyes can tell how healthy